me at it again. Thought it was time I start building the foundry. So here we are. This is an old bit of God knows what I found at a scrapyard. It's just a big piece of pipe basically. So far I have wired some studs into there for grip for the refractory, and I'm starting to make the cradle for the tilting furnace, or foundry as it were. So let's bring you in on the action. I can't get a great deal further at the moment. I've got to start building the cradle for this. I thought I would at least get the bottom layer of refractory in there, or insulation. So that's what I'm going to do now. I was thinking about using vermiculite, but I thought due to this being cement, I got to add water into it. It may cause a problem with the curing. So as far as I'm aware, perlite is as good as an insulator as vermiculite, just slightly less absorbent, or considerably less absorbent. So I thought I'd go to perlite. To begin with, I'm going to mix it up like I would mortar for laying bricks. Damn, that shit is dusty. Okay, vermiculite might have been less dusty. I don't know if this is bad for you or not. Should have put a mask on. 6. That is horrible stuff. It's me probably with cancer now. A little bit wetter than what I'd like still. Fuck it, that's 10 litres of perlite. If I have to, I'll line all of it in one hit. Texture is a bit like polystyrene. So we'll try it. I don't know if this is going to hold up to it or not, but it's the only thing I had that was the right diameter. And there we have it. It's going to be a cradle for the tilting foundry. We've got a little spinny thingy here. Spinny spin. It's a it's a 20-to-1 reduction, so that should be alright. Got to bolt it all on yet. So for today, I'm not sure how much more I can do. I've got that setting up, the smelting pots poured and everything, and I've put this together. I've got to put some wheels on it yet because this thing's going to weigh a ton. Once the wheels are on it, mount it up, and I've got to start working on the integral crucible, melting chamber. I don't know. The thing you put the metal in to melt. Little bit of a shame, I sheared the drive shaft off of the little reduction box I had. It had a 12mm shaft and it sheared. This is like real heavy, to be honest. It might have been a bad idea me setting it up with this. I wanted to do it so as when you tipped it, the spout, as it were, doesn't move around. It's sort of in the centre. It's concentric to rotation, so as it tips, the spout will stay in the same place. But in doing so, it means the full weight of this is bearing down. That cementing that dried really quick. I mean, this has only been a few hours and it's pretty good. Whether it's good or not, look, works. So yeah. Bring you in here a little bit. No, okay, let's fish you that way. Yeah, that's better. Okay. My solution. This was the gearbox that I was using. It's actually got two outputs on it. It's quite neat. But the shaft wasn't up for the weight. And that's just with the body of the Foundry and the refractory in there. It couldn't handle it, so I've still got like 30 odd kilos, 40 kilos or so that will be added to the weight of this once it's finished, plus the weight of whatever I'm mounting. So I went on Facebook again and I picked up a winch, big boat winch thing. This one's a 2-speed, so it should mean I don't have to go and find more than one. As when I done my reduction gearbox or my bunker locking doors, multi-point locking doors, I had to use a couple of winches to get the reduction. So I'll see what this one's reduction is, and depending on if it's enough, then bonus. If it's not, I might have to get one more. So we'll see. Anyway, my solution. Now just to fang dangle it all together. Today featuring possibly the internet's ugliest cam. Just gotta wire it up. The weight of the Foundry is just it's a lot more than what, you know, I cocked up, but I'm not changing it. Basically, I'm gonna stick with this, get it finished, and we'll call it Mark 1. Oh, that was warm. Fucking hell. Woo! That's how if I turn it on, done it. Idiot. I wasn't happy with a few of the design choices I had made, so I thought I'd change it halfway through. The hole here was going to be for like the tap-in spout. I was going to do it so as the spout came out from the bottom of the crucible, up and then out. That way you wouldn't have to worry so much about... God, I'm hot. That plasma cutter's been warm. That way you wouldn't have to worry so much about the slag on top of it, because obviously the slag would stay up and you pour it from the bottom. But I was going to lose a lot of volume within the crucible if I did it that way. So I chose to change it so as now the crucible just pours from the top like any normal crucible would. Unfortunately that hole's there now, but it's going to be useful anyway as sort of the exhaust for the Foundry, so I figured I would turn it around and face it backwards rather than as you're pouring it having like the exhaust coming out where the aluminium is. And then weld it back on, but the opposite way around, back to front. So that is the completed burner. It's a Venturi burner. The little nozzle I'd used before, excuse me, little nozzle is now part of it. That's what I meant when I said in an earlier video the nozzle's not meant to be used in the setup as it was. Basically this idea came from my little like air gun. Yeah, probably one of my better machining projects, as there's you know, there's lathe, there's mill work, yeah, and I'm extremely hot, absolutely roasting. And then machined up the centre so as it would hold the sort of nozzle nut. And this will bolt onto the bottom. I was having a bit of a conversation with James on YouTube. He was saying he's always put the burner in from the side. I was trying to cheat. I put the burner in from the bottom because there was a hole there, which happened to have some bolts. I think it's part of some of this tubing over there. And you can see that down in there. I got it from my friend who off of his scrap wagon. So whatever this tank thing, whatever the hell it was for, it's not the same size as then, no, it's a smaller one. This should work for it. Made a slight change. I have, it's only tack welded for now, a tube on the inside, on the outside rather, the Venturi. So I'm gonna, as before, I've made a longer threaded valve thing. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Just make sure I've done that up. Yep. So I was eating my dinner and I was thinking about a gas, what do you call it? Oh, what are they called? Venturi burner. And I was thinking about a choke. So I thought I would see whether or not it's possible to add a choke to a waste oil fired burner. So that's centered. So that's what I've done basically. And now if I want to adjust the nozzle, like spray pattern, it's easily achieved because I've now put a little nut on the back of this. For the minute, I cheated, took a nylock nut and a big old washer. Just make sure that's bitten up. And that's the choke. I don't know if this will work or not, but it's worth a try. Hello! So the takeaway from this was the burner needs to go in through the side to create a vortex, as otherwise it just creates turbulence that it blows the damn thing out and just kicks out loads of vaporized oil. That should run in the Foundry now. Now I just gotta cut a hole in the side of that. didn't seal that up quite enough. I think I definitely ended up with more aluminium on the floor, but that's because there was a little hole in the mould. I must have not fully welded it round and I closed it all up. Got some stalagmites here. Hopefully I can get all this aluminium off the bloody blocks. There's a fair amount in there. The Foundry works fine. Yeah, there's a whole lot of crap in the bottom of it still, but I think that's where those cans have been sat for a year or so. They've been collecting up for a long time. You know, I've had my neighbours and that saving all their cans for me to melt down, and things I would change about it. I'd possibly make that crucible slightly smaller, because I've only got about a 13mm gap all the way round, so it's probably not allowing the heat up very well and circulating the air and that inside there. So I may make another one. That one's 8 inches across. It's 8 inches by 16 inches, whatever the fuck that is in volume. I can't be asked to work it out right now. I might do one like 7 or 6.5 inches. I have to see what gas bottles I got kicking around. But it works. Works well. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Thanks for watching. This may get split into a few videos, because there's a load of different things I've done with this, and like changing my mind about stuff and things like that. So yeah, cheers for watching guys, and take care. That's still full of molten aluminium, but it can stay in there for now. I'm gonna go get my dinner. That's better. It wasn't a complete failure. Granted, I ended up with about 4 times of this on the floor. So it worked, I'm pleased.